my Valentine. Can I you do make you what I'm
Shy.
Hello everyone, welcome to my podcast about everything and anything in Africa. I am your host Peter, and here's my partner in crime, my co-host Peter.
I'm fine now.
How are you today?
I'm fine.
Okay. So today we're gonna have our topic today is gonna be about culture. We're gonna be talking about cultural differences between most African countries, Nigeria, Kenya, Morocco, Ghana, different culture, like I said. So starting with Nigeria, because we have a lot of dialects, a lot of ethnicities, it is difficult to be able to explain the different cultures because I haven't lived in most of the cultures. But I will tell you a few that I have lived. So the Yorubas, the Igbos, and the Hausas. So Nigeria is comprised of 50-50 religious group. We have 50% of Christians, and then we have 50% of Muslims. And with our cultural differences, I'll tell you that we actually come together to live as one, the Muslims and the Christian, until recently when we started having the fanatic religious group. So discussing about culture, Ghana is also West African country. Cameroon is also West African country, and Kenya. So with all this, we're all going to be talking about the differences between the African countries, what's the difference, and our cultural differences. Morocco, Egypt, and Tunisia, these are not Africans, and we also have different cultural backgrounds. So as we move forward, we're going to be inviting few people to come and speak on different cultures. And I will tell you today the reason why we're having this podcast. We're having this podcast because it's been Nigerians or Africans has been labeled in a different format as if we're the minorities of this world. And we want to make sure that we, the Nigerians, are not going to accept the minority that we've been labeled.
No.
So I want to try to bring Nigeria into share some light on Nigerians, so share some light on Africans, so that most of these people will understand that we're not just people from Africa, that we have brains, intelligence, we have entrepreneurs, we have the most educated people in the world, the most kind-hearted people, but because of our political system in which the Westerners has infiltrated and made us look like we have no self-discipline in taking care of our own culture. But today, I know the world knew Nigeria as scammers, but we're not. Even if we're scammers, they taught Nigerians how to scam people. The Westerners are more scammers than anybody you can think of. The problem is that the Westerners, their scamming is legalized. Their scamming is legalized.
That's true.
And I will tell you, and I will explain how it's legalized. People don't seem to understand that Western scammers, their scamming people are legalized. And then they call Nigerian scammers? No, that is not right. So with this platform, we're going to show the world that we're not shithole countries. That we are disciplined, respected, and everything and anything about Africa is going to come out on this platform. Sophie, what do you think? Don't you think it's time for the world to know that we're self-made people? That they actually scammed us?
As I look at my watch now, it's about time that we let the world know. There's so many things I bet that the world has no idea about when it comes to Africa itself. So I mean, it's only right that we utilize this platform to educate those who don't know. I'm even learning myself.
Exactly. So, like, culturally, the difference between the Western world and the African culture is totally different.
Yeah.
It's different in the sense that people think when Black Americans are the same like African Americans. Can you understand the difference between Black Americans and African Americans? I don't know the difference, because when they say African American and Black American, everybody comes from Africa. The Black Americans came from Africa.
Yeah.
The African Americans came from Africa.
Right.
The problem is the cultural difference. And how is it different? It's different because the Black Americans were the supposedly slave descendants. They were slave descendants. So they have integrated and have the Western culture character-wise, right?
Right.
Character-wise, because they were brought here and born here, so they integrated and live here and became Americans. So the Africans, at this point, there's a cultural difference.
Yeah. The way we do things.
Because the way we do things, the way we approach things, are totally different from the way the Black Americans approach things.
Yeah.
So we have different culture. The Black American will feel somehow when you speak. They feel very sensitive about so many things that you say. And for us, if I'm an African and I'm speaking to another African person, there's the way I speak, they understand what I'm talking about,
Sure.
without explaining.
Yeah.
But for me, if I'm going to be speaking to a Black American, I have to explain exactly what I meant, so they don't get upset with me or get angry. So that's the culture. You know, and on this topic, we're going to be inviting a lot of people, different people from different cultures, to come and speak about the cultural difference between the African Americans and the African Africans. So today, like I said, is also part of introduction, letting you people know that the reason of our podcast and our cultural conversation is trying to introduce our African culture and way of life to the world, which is everything and anything about Africa. So continue on the African cultures. Like we're saying, African continent is big.
Yes.
It's big. I have not traveled to most of the African countries, but I know some of the histories and the culture of the people. But most of all, I will tell you about my own culture. So in Nigeria, we have a lot of ethnicity.
Yes.
And every ethnicity have different culture. But the most cultural it's the way we respect people. We're very respectful people. We respect our parents. Our parents is everything to us, and we don't talk back to people that are older than us. Everybody is auntie or uncle, and in Africa, most of the African countries practice polygamy. So we're used to being second wife or third wife or fourth wife. It's natural to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes I heard that they had, is it where? Where in America, where they have, is it the Mormons?
Oh yeah, Mormons. That's
The-
like
the Mormons?
Midwest.
Midwest.
Yeah.
The Mormons and people from, is it, yeah, the Mormons. They do practice polygamy, right?
Yeah.
They practice polygamy. So when I first heard it in America, I was shocked, kind of shocked, because that's African culture. You know, it's nothing strange to us. But
No.
when we always believe that the white man is one man and one woman.
Ha.
But in our culture, we know that happens. It's not a crime.
No.
But but these days, it's with the new millennium, things are becoming to be normal and change. So in the United States, we have a lot of Nigerian ethnicities. We have Ghanaians, we have Kenyans, we have Cameroonians, we have. I have not actually seen a lot of Moroccans.
Morocco,
But
yeah.
I have seen Tunisian, not much, not a lot of North Africans. Maybe in Texas, maybe I haven't. They're here. They call themselves Persian.
Yeah.
They don't call themselves not African. They don't call themselves Africans. They call themselves Persians.
Like Kardashian, Kim Kardashian, all those people.
They call themselves Persians when they're Africans, you know. But we Africans, we're very proud of our culture. We're very proud of where we come from. And what a lot of the Westerners don't understand, that we're not here because we think they're better than us. We're here because our political system is messed up. So we come here to get a job, work, save some money, and go back to where we come from. And I just want to let the Western world know that we're not coming here because we love this place so much. We come here because the poverty in our country sent us here.
Yeah.
We're hardworking people. We're educated. In Africa, I would say 75% of the people, or 80% of the people, own their own home.
Yeah. That's a fact. That's a huge fact.
On their own home, their own cars, their own land, their own everything.
No, we don't pay property tax.
If we don't pay property tax,
If
we
it's
don't
ours,
pay
it's ours.
income tax, we don't pay tax. You know.
Mba.
So I just want to let you guys know that this podcast is going to teach you a lot of things that you don't know about Africa.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people come here and they do dirty job, and you think, oh yes, we need them to do this job. The CEOs back home, they own their own company, they own their own business. A lot of Westerners who have worked in Africa can come and confirm that.
Yes.
We live a lavish life, poor or rich. You don't have to be poor to be happy in Africa. You don't have to be rich to be happy in Africa. Everyone is happy. Everyone is smiling.
Literally.
Even if you're suffering, you're smiling.
To me, that's a saying. We're suffering and smiling.
Yeah, fella, we have a musician who sets up, I suffer for one, enjoy for heaven, you know, suffering and smiling.
Yes.
Yeah, that's us. That's us. So we're trying to put a stop to the narrative of we, the Africans, shithole countries or whatever. That is so wrong, because here is where you have the shithole.
Yeah.
When you put everything down and write it down, just because it looks white doesn't mean it's perfect. This is the shithole here. The shithole where nobody owns what they own.
How can you be driving car?
And it doesn't belong to you.
How can you be living in house?
And it doesn't belong to you.
How can you online?
And it doesn't belong to you. You don't even own your own life.
You don't know.
No.
You don't know why it's
Social, insurance.
How can you be earning your own money you work hard for, and they're taxing you on your own money?
Uncle Sam. Uncle.
In income tax. Income. Your income that you earn.
I have to pay.
You have to pay tax
Because
on your money.
because I don't collect money for this land.
So tell me, who is the scammer?
Who's the scammer? Uncle Sam scammer. Uncle Sama.
You buy property, you pay tax. Your own property, they ask you to pay tax. After you pay off the property, you still pay tax. You continue paying the government here. Tell me, who is the scammer?
Uncle Scammer.
So that is the cultural difference. In my culture, we don't do that. What you own is what is yours.
Forever and ever.
Forever. You buy a property, it's yours. You buy a car, it's yours. You open a business, it's yours. Yes, you can pay tax.
Continue.
You can pay government tax. How do you call that kind of tax? In my country, you say you pay tax, yes. You pay tax, but that's the tax you pay. But you don't pay tax on the property that you own.
No.
Jesus!
Every adult own their own home. And the ones who don't own their own home, who rented a property, can afford to pay for their property.
Literally.
Without paying taxes, without background check and whatever. So this is where we have our cultural differences.
Yeah.
And we're going to shine light on this so that the Westerners can understand that we Africans are not shithole.
No.
I know some of you are going to say, okay, if you're so happy. I remember somebody asking me, he said, oh, where are you from? I said, well, I'm Nigerian. How do you like your country? I said, I love my country. It's one of the best African countries in the world. So why are you here? Oh, yes. She asked me that. She said, so why are you here if it's so good? Why are you here?
Insults.
And I said to her, I said, I'm here because my husband is American.
What does she have to say to that?
And nothing. Oh, okay, where did you meet your husband? I met my husband in my country.
Funny enough.
That's not just one. We went to a game with my kids, with my son. He used to play
Baseball.
Baseball. Went to baseball game. So I was sitting close to an elderly woman, and she said, "Oh, where are you from?" I said, "I'm from Africa." This is another one. It's not the same one I just explained. And I said, she said, "Oh, I used to receive emails telling me the queen, the king." And I said, "Well, it happens here too. I get emails every day telling me that somebody has hacked my account."
Very true.
And then when I call the bank, they tell me, "No, we didn't send that message to you." And then she told me, she said, "Oh, I hear they're killing people." Like, I said, "Well,
people die here every day. In fact, people die here past.
I said, "Somebody can come to your house and shoot you."
Yeah.
And she said, "Yeah, you're right."
You know what's funny? There's no such thing as school shootings in Africa.
No, no, we
They
don't.
have school shootings here every day.
Yes, we don't
I
have.
don't fear for my life.
Yeah, even growing up until I came to the United States, up to this day, we don't have a shop where you can buy a gun.
Yeah, we can't do this. Impossible.
Up till this day, there's no shop where you can buy a gun. Every gun you see on the street was brought in by the freaking politicians that we said that has how would I say it? That has betrayed us.
Yeah. Why not?
And it's the truth. It's the truth.
Yeah.
Politicians imported the guns and gave it to the hoodlums. Gave it to the hoodlums to protect them. After that, the
CIA.
No, the hoodlums. They decided to keep the gun for themselves. There's no gun shop in Nigeria or in African countries.
None.
They're all black market. So that's where the cultural difference
resides.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're talking about everything and anything about Africa. So we're talking about the differences between the African countries, the West African, the North African, the East African, and the South African.
South Africa.
And South Africa. And a lot of people, all you guys know is South Africa.
Joburg,
Yes.
Kimberly, all of those things.
Every time someone say they come from Africa, they think you come from South Africa. No, Africa is a huge continent.
Africa is the only continent still connected to the core of the earth.
Exactly.
The only one.
Yeah, that's true.
It spins with the world. US, everywhere else is floating. Floating.
That's true.
So, do you know that Senegal has some of the darkest people? I'm talking about, see this screen here. But they're so black and beautiful. But the reason why their skin is so dark is because they're right next to the equator. And so they have to withstand those UV rays, meaning that they can stay outside all day
long.
As in Akon, he's light skinned. He's from Senegal, but he's light skinned compared to how you can be in Senegal.
Yes.
Black, but beautiful. Yes. Very beautiful.
So what my co-host is trying to tell you is that the Senegalese, they're very, very dark skinned.
Right.
They're from the North African or East African.
Northeast, sir.
Northwest.
Sorry.
Are they from Northwest Africa?
Yeah, west.
Okay, so they're from the Northwest. That's I think that's from the East.
According to my map here,
from the Northwest and the East Africa.
Is now west though, because California is west, so Senegal is west.
No, you better check it so we don't make any mistake of description. So what we're trying to say here is that the
west.
Senegalese are very dark skinned.
Yeah, so
I think they're from the east coast of Africa.
West. East, west.
Okay. So Senegalese are from the west.
West.
We are West Africans.
Yeah.
So Senegalese are from where?
West. West.
Okay, so the Senegalese are from West Africa. Okay, so the Senegalese.
Ethiopia, east.
Okay, I'm sorry to complicate stuff. But,
no. We are learning.
No. Anyway, so the Senegalese are from the west, but they're very dark skinned. Very, very, very dark skinned.
As in, I'm light skinned.
Oh yeah. Dark skinned, but beautiful people.
So fine. As in, so fine.
They are beautiful.
Oh, fine.
The skin is beautiful, lekker. Anyways, but the reason, I think they have the best skin so far.
Low key they do.
You know why? Because they can stay in the sun all day. Their melanin is protecting them from any damages. Any sun damage or anything.
Yeah, so.
You know, I know a lot of people will see them and say, oh my God, I'm so black. Yeah, they are. Yeah. And they have the most beautiful skin you can think of.
Beautiful. I've never seen something so pure and beautiful.
Pure and beautiful. I mean, me as an African, I admire them. I'm like, oh wow. You know? So yeah.
You look like the galaxy. It's like you're staring at the galaxy.
Like the galaxy. Pure white teeth, beautiful face, tall and slim. But I think 75% Christian. No, they're Muslim.
Yeah, it was like 21% is Muslim, 75% is Christianity, something like that.
No, that's in Kenya.
Oh, that's in Kenya.
That's in Kenya.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's in Kenya. Because I know most of Senegalese, most of them are like Muslims.
Yeah, they do like the.
Yeah. Most of them are Muslims. West Africans. So, and Ghana has typical same culture like Nigeria.
Yeah, it's only that their jollof rice is nowhere near as good. I will stand on that.
Ghanaians and Nigerians, their culture is very similar.
Yeah.
You know, we're very friendly people, very hardworking people,
Yeah.
like to enjoy life, and
Yeah.
you know, that's it's also part of West African country.
Yep.
And then we have the East Africa,
East, yeah, like Ethiopia, Sudan,
Somalia. So part of those people are more of a Muslim.
Oh yeah.
Muslim region.
Oh yeah.
And
speaking Arabic and
yeah,
things like that.
And we totally have different culture.
Oh yeah.
But we're still all Africans.
Look at that.
Right?
Yeah. That's why Ghana is now inviting so many people to come and live there.
Live there. So come back home. Why don't you come back home? The other day I heard T.I. T.I. is one of these African American musicians, singers, which I love.
Shout out to Tip.
He was saying, look, man, we need to go back to Africa. He said, when I went to Ghana, I will send you the clip. He said, when I went to Ghana, when I went to Nigeria, and I went to Kenya, bro, I felt like I was home. I felt like I was home.
Smart man.
Peaceful, nice people. I mean, I would like to buy a land in Africa. That was what Tia was saying. Because he had the opportunity to travel to see the other part of the African countries, and he knew the difference between here, the Western world, and the African culture. Steve Harvey said the same thing.
He did.
I heard Steve Harvey on one of these talk shows, not on his shows, on one of, I can't remember the talk show, he was being interviewed, and he was asking people, you need to go to Ghana. You need to go establish in Ghana. You need to go to Ghana. Africans don't hate you. They love you. I heard Steve Harvey saying this, and I was shocked. I'm like, okay, you Africans have to come back home and understand your culture, because we have culture. The Westerners do not have culture.
None. They say that America is the land of the free. I say America is land of free because it's free of culture. It has no culture.
It has no culture. No, it's not the land of the free. It's the
Everyone
land of
roams freely.
It's the land of slavery and the land of imprisonment, self-imprisonment. When I say self-imprisonment, I mean when you're working, you can go out, you don't have life, you don't have fun. That's prison. They're not holding you hostage, but you have to work to pay your bills. If you don't pay your bills, you can't do nothing.
Nothing.
So that's self-imprisonment in care of the Westerners. So we're going to be emphasizing on the Africans in America. Not only in America, Africans worldwide. We have the most populated African community in Texas.
Yeah.
And we're going to be reaching out to every culture, every African culture on this show to put light on what Africans are all about.
Yeah. You don't know.
We are gonna take away that negativity of Africans away from
Destigmatized.
Yes.
Africa is not what you think.
No.
If you don't know.
If you don't know. Africa is not what you think if you don't know. So now we're gonna flash a little bit of each continent, each country in Africa. So you can have a clue and a view. Because most people in America has not traveled
To Africa.
Anywhere. Anywhere.
I know some people, when I was in Oklahoma, there's some people in Oklahoma never left Oklahoma.
No.
There's people in Texas never left Texas.
So they don't know.
Wow. But
So-
they are busy voting and all of these things.
Yeah. So they don't know. They think the world ends here.
They have no clue.
They think the world ends here, and this is all we're gonna be talking about in the future.
Yep.
And if you all have any contribution to our conversation, please don't hesitate to subscribe or write down and tell us this is what I would like to hear on your show.
Right.
I hope today is going to be a blessed day for everyone. Thank you for listening to our podcast.
Thank you.
And we hope to see you.
And I'm here.
My baby, my Valentine. Can I you to make you a temperature rise? If you leave me a good time, I swear you are like the oxygen I need to survive.